Hello, and thank you for viewing my presentation. I apologize in advance. Due to a severe COVID infection, I'm unable to use my own voice for this recording, so this is generated using text-to-speech technology. My name is Gao Gao. You may call me Lilith. I'm a recent graduate from Bard College Berlin, Germany, with a double major in ethics and politics, art and aesthetics, or simply philosophy and art history. Today, I'll be discussing Heidegger on art and poetry, the role of language and art in revealing truth. This paper explores how installation art can transcend the limits of language to reveal deeper truths, especially in our digital culture. Let's dive in. First, an overview of my abstract. This paper argues that installation art goes beyond language's constraints to uncover truth in a digital world, building on Martin Heidegger's philosophy. At its core, language both reveals and conceals reality, but art allows us to embody truths that words can't fully capture. As William Butler Yeats famously said, "Man can embody truth, but he cannot know it." I'll draw on Heidegger's Poetics, Gianni Vattimo's view of art as philosophical inquiry, and Julianne Rebentisch's concept of site-specific installation art. My original contribution is an analysis of my 2024 installation, The Word. This has implications for philosophy, aesthetics, human-computer interaction, such as wearable tech, and sustainability. Key terms include embodied aesthetics, installation art, and Heideggerian phenomenology. Now, let's move to the introduction. In the background of this slide, you'll see a subtle word cloud highlighting concepts like truth, language, art, poetry, Heidegger, revelation, concealment, embodiment, phenomenology, poetics, Vattimo, Rebentisch, digital culture, and human-computer interaction, reflecting the interconnected themes we'll explore. In our rapidly technologized world, language shapes how we perceive reality, but it also limits us, especially through AI-mediated communication that often oversimplifies experiences. My central research question is, how does installation art navigate these linguistic limits to reveal truths, as inspired by Heidegger? This ties directly into the conference theme, from democratic aesthetics to digital culture, where art promotes inclusive, embodied engagement in mediated realities. As Heidegger notes in On the Way to Language, language speaks. It actively forms our world. With that foundation, let's examine Heidegger's ideas in more detail. Martin Heidegger presents language as a dual force. It discloses truth through aletheia, or unconcealment, but also conceals by framing reality within its structures. He calls it the house of being, sheltering truths while limiting our perceptions. A key example is his analysis of Stefan George's poem, The Word, which you'll see animated here, starting with the original German text and then transitioning to the English translation upon click. Where word breaks off, no thing may be. This means without language, things lose their place in our consciousness. It both creates and fragments reality. However, language's categorizations obscure the full essence of experiences, like complex emotions or cultural phenomena. In modern contexts, this applies to AI and natural language processing, where models reinforce biases and hide social truths. Heidegger warns against over-reliance on such systems, advocating for poetic language and art to reclaim those hidden depths. Next, we'll see how Vattimo builds on this. Gianni Vattimo extends Heidegger by viewing art as a form of philosophical inquiry. In the 20th century, art evolved from mere aesthetics to theoretical programs, exemplified by Marcel Duchamp's Nude Descending a Staircase, number 2, from 1912. It challenges traditional representation with dynamic form. And here, contrasted with 2024's Duchampiana, we see how these ideas live on in our digital contexts. Vattimo's weak thought welcomes interpretive proliferation, letting art slip past everyday rigid discourse. As he writes in Art's Claim to Truth, the logic of poetry takes place in the wake of an immediate and essentially mysterious symbolic call. This gives us access to truths beyond words. In virtual reality installations, art speaks directly to us. This sets up Rebentisch's focus on installation art beautifully. Julianne Rebentisch emphasizes the site-specific nature of installation art, which opens up to both visible and invisible contexts, making them thematic. As she puts it, installation art renders context explicitly thematic. Take Olafur Elias's The Weather Project from 2003. Light and mist wrap around you, critiquing how we perceive our environment inside an industrial space. That sensory pull uncovers societal truths like climate change, which language often can't fully grasp. Reuben Tish sees installation art as a tool for questioning institutions and social structures in line with democratic aesthetics. It beautifully complements Vatimo, turning art into a thoughtful, contextual experience. Now, let's discuss my methodology. My approach combines hermeneutic textual analysis of primary sources like Heidegger, Vatimo, and Reuben Tish with a case study evaluation. I also draw on related literature from thinkers like Gadamer, Derrida, Adorno, and Bishop for broader contexts. The practical core is my original installation, The Word, which exemplifies these ideas. This interdisciplinary lens connects philosophy to human-computer interaction, such as through wearable technologies and sustainability studies. The two pictures here show how my installation appeared in the exhibition venue. Walls covered with words, a chair with the wearable piece for audiences to try on, and pens inviting them to write on both the walls and the installation. Since we've already discussed my original work, let's dive deeper into it. Moving to my original artwork, The Word, created in Berlin in 2024. It's a mixed media installation featuring a wearable rib-shaped device made from 3D printed semi-transparent materials and fabric, paired with walls covered in semi-transparent paper. Inspired by Heidegger's analysis of George's poem, it symbolizes language's opacity and constraints, like a metaphorical cage. The creation process involves sketches for the rib cage metaphor, digital modeling in Blender, 3D printing, and sewing fabric for tactility. You'll see it in the pictures here. This design invites interaction, showing how language both reveals and hides. Let's explore its interactivity next. In practice, the word turns viewers into participants. They inscribe thoughts on the rib itself, on the walls around it, where overlapping writings visualize language's concealment through accumulation. Exhibition feedback from Berlin described it as feeling confined yet liberated, a visceral embodiment of linguistic limits. Theoretically, it integrates Heidegger by challenging the primacy of words, Vatimo through dialogic poetics, where symbols emerge mysteriously, and Reuben Tish via site-specific engagement that adapts to the space. For comparison, it's similar to Hans Hocke's MoMA Poll from 1970, which critiques institutions through interaction, shown here in a side-by-side image with my work. This fosters communal narratives, revealing truths non-verbally. Now, let's turn to the results and implications. My findings show that installation art like The Word fosters a visceral understanding of societal and environmental truths, transcending language's reductions. Interdisciplinarily, it connects to human-computer interaction. Imagine wearable tech enhancing sensory experiences, as in Bill Shannon's portable projection mapping mask from 2015, shown here, and to sustainability, where art critiques ecological issues. In digital culture, it navigates mediated realities democratically, countering fragmentation and polarizing societies. Overall, art expands our horizons in ways words alone cannot. To conclude, while Heidegger shows language's limits, Vatimo and Reuben Tish demonstrate art's power to embody truths. As Yeats reminds us, man can embody truth, but he cannot know it. Installation art like The Word bridges theory and lived experience, offering pathways in our digital era. Looking ahead, future research might explore hybrid art tech platforms, such as VR for education or therapy. Ultimately, this affirms art's transformative role. Thank you for viewing my presentation. Acknowledgements to my mentors, Dr. Gilad Nir, Dr. Jeff Lehman, Professor Robert Martin, and Dr. Chiara Robbiano. For any questions, please join the conference discussion boards or send me an email. I truly appreciate your time.